Containers, microservices, and cloud-native technologies are the new building blocks of digital transformation. However, the complexity and fast-evolving nature of Kubernetes, coupled with the limitations of legacy infrastructure, put business agility and speed to market gains out of reach for many organizations. Hi, I'm Jose. In this video, I show you how the Nutanix Cloud platform provides a cloud-like experience in your environment across compute, networking, and data services. It is easily managed, highly resilient, and scales linearly without limits, enabling you to easily meet the demands of Kubernetes and cloud-native applications. With Nutanix industry-leading hybrid cloud infrastructure as your foundation, you can fast-track your way to a production-grade Kubernetes stack with the added benefit of built-in unified data services such as databases, files, block, and objects, with the freedom to choose any certified Kubernetes, including hybrid cloud ones. This turnkey platform is 100% software-driven and brings unprecedented scalability, performance, and resiliency for running containers, microservices, and cloud-native technologies on your environment. For this demo, my Kubernetes distribution of choice is Red Hat OpenShift. The cluster is running the latest version of OpenShift at the time of this recording. To help with the deployment and configuration of OpenShift, I have used an automation blueprint which you can find in the video description. The blueprint deploys a 3-node cluster with a load balancer. You also get the Nutanix CSI operator, which enables the OpenShift cluster for requesting persistent storage for the stateful applications. In this setup, I have configured two storage classes, one for the block storage, which uses Nutanix volumes, and another one for NFS shared storage that uses Nutanix files. The cluster doesn't have any application workflow yet, but let's build together a modern cloud-native application from the ground up using a cloud-like architecture. This is a Django e-commerce application. It requires a Postgres database and a caching tier. The static content, such as product images, is stored in a bucket. For building this application in your environment using Nutanix, you will use the following building blocks: the Nutanix Hybrid Cloud Infrastructure with unified data services as the foundation. With Nutanix Flow, you create a VPC to protect and isolate the OpenShift cluster. OpenShift has access to persistent storage from Nutanix files and Nutanix volumes via the Nutanix CSI plugin. From the application stack, Django and Redis are containerized. Redis needs a persistent volume to store its data. This service comes from volumes. There is also a requirement for a shared folder for Django and Redis to exchange some files. This persistent volume comes from files. Finally, the database and bucket storage. Nutanix Era provides the Postgres database, and Nutanix Objects brings the S3 compatible API buckets for the static content. To access the application, OpenShift, integrated with DNS services, generates an OpenShift route with a URL. Actually, let's deploy this application that we just designed. You can create all these components individually from the Nutanix console, but to make it easier for IT users to consume it, you can have the application blueprint in the Nutanix Calm marketplace. Self-service and automation reduce the time to deliver IT services to the business, while mitigating the risk of human errors executing manual tasks. The blueprint automates the process of creating a storage bucket using Objects S3 compatible APIs, continues with the provisioning of a Postgres database using Era APIs, and once those two services are available, it follows with the Django and Redis Kubernetes deployments. This is a view of the blueprint. It is also available as infrastructure as code. After a few minutes, the database is ready, and the bucket has some static content. There are also a couple of Kubernetes deployments, with Django having 2 replicas and Redis running just one. there is an OpenShift root configured for the Django service, so the application is accessible via URL. This is great. Just a couple of clicks in the Calm marketplace, no IT tickets, and a few minutes later we got our cloud-native application up and running without having to worry about to build a database servers from scratch or requesting persistent storage in advance for the containerized services. Talking about persistent storage, let's check that the shared folder with read-write many configuration is working as expected. To test this, let's create a file using one of the Django pods. Now, we change to the Redis pod and let's list the content of the shared folder. The file is here. Repeating the same process, let's create another file from this Redis pod and check this time from the second Django pod. Wow, that was really smooth. And that's not all. Managing databases can be challenging for developers and database administrators, but with Era, it is a piece of cake. You get not just automated provisioning, but also time machine capabilities, letting you restore any database to any point back in time, or also create 0-byte clones of your mission-critical databases for dev test environment. Don't compromise the availability and scalability of your modern applications using legacy architectures or solutions with poor resiliency and recoverability. With the Nutanix Cloud, you get everything you need in your environment for building and running cloud-native applications at scale, like in the cloud. So that's it for today. Make sure to check out the description for links to more resources, and like and subscribe to the channel for more videos about Nutanix Cloud. I'll see you in the next video.